I turned up here at Teleport last night, having been away for the last 7 months back in Australia, and I was a little bit worried because I wasn't quite sure what condition the boat would be in. There's a bit of mould on some things, that's to be expected I guess. A little bit of water in the bilge, but not too much. Part of the roof has sagged a little bit, but we might be able to fix that up maybe. But yeah, on the whole, not too bad. I'm pretty relieved. So it's like Christmas. You know, we've got all these boxes of engine parts we had delivered, you know, new gaskets, charts for the Northwest Passage that a guy, Dave Chamberlain, very generously just posted to us. I found some good diagrams online for how to take apart the water pump and various other parts of the engine, which is very useful, but it's incredibly awkward to get to. So I've got a rather annoying situation here, which is that on the water pump, which is something that needs to be serviced because it hasn't been serviced, you know, since forever, so like 13 years ago at least. But the screws that hold, or the bolts that hold the whole thing together are so rusted that I'm worried that when I undo them, if I force it, they might just snap. I've just soaked it with WD-40 and I'll just leave it overnight and see if I can then, I might try in the morning and see if I can get it off. I just managed to get that rusted bolt off. Yes! I was a bit scared because I was undoing what I thought was the head of a bolt and going, and then it just went, and came off, and I was like, oh, you know, I just broke the head of the bolt off, but it wasn't, it was a nut. So it's not so bad. The bolt was still in there and I finally got that out. Look how rusted that is. Don't know if you can see that, but pretty rusted away. So happy to have got that off, because I think that's about the rustiest part on the whole engine. So if I manage to get that off, you know, there's hope for I can fix anything. I got the water pump out, and this bit's supposed to come out of there. That's the rubber diaphragm, and it's just totally stuck in there. I had to cut it out with a knife. So awkward reaching in there. But I got it. Looks good. And once you get all the rust and stuff off, it's actually in really good nick. You know, all the threads and stuff still undo beautifully. All the pieces polish up really well. So this was the worst looking part of the engine. So I'm really hopeful that, you know, obviously the engine's built like a tank. I think this bit on the engine is just broken. Yep. So the outlet of the exhaust silencer just broke off. I don't know if it's something I can fix.
We're exhausted at trying to figure a way to get the broken parts out of the threads. They're welded in there. Success! We got it. We're going to bed.
Let's try and start the engine, having just serviced the whole thing. Hope it works. The buzzer doesn't seem to be coming on. Alrighty, let's see if this engine's going to work for me. What do you think? Brand new engine. Just finished painting it. That'll help keep the rust off it, and it'll also let us see if there's any oil leaks or anything. But yeah, I feel good now. You know, I've taken the engine apart enough times and put it back together that I understand how it all works, and I can repair it if it breaks, I think. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Just been scraping off some of the loose bits of anti-foul from last year, and then I'll touch it up because we're going to go launching in about 24 hours. We're getting launched, so I've got to paint this and let it dry before we go in the water. If it's not one thing, it's another. Hey, we almost launched yesterday, and they dragged the yacht about halfway there, and then the cradle started to fall apart underneath the yacht. You know, it was all rotten and it just broke. Huge beams of wood just went smash, and everyone was like, stop! And they thought the yacht was going to fall over and just crush onto the ground, which would have been horrible. But we spent the rest of the day rebuilding the cradle underneath the yacht. You know, all the locals helped, and we went and got huge new bits of wood and nailed it all in there and jacked the yacht up using jacks. Now it's all stable. And hopefully today sometime we'll get a chance to try and drag it the last 100 meters and get it in the water.
We've got the longest 100 feet to go in this whole project.
So we're finally floating. Whew, it didn't fall off the cradle this time, we got all the way in. Now I've just got to tidy the boat up and get it ready for when Jess turns up. She'll be here this evening, so I've got a couple of hours. The engine worked fine. I could put my hands on the engine. It was like lukewarm, so certainly no overheating problems. Really happy, finally, that we've got it floating home again.